Started off by talking about Nashville and David Poile. I want to get to the trades here, whether it's Nita Ryder, whether it's Tanner Jeannot, and what may be on the horizon, next for Nashville here. I was just talking
Yeah.
about how I'm going to think about David Poile and his
Yep.
Nashville days, like his Washington days. Like he put together really good Washington Capitals teams. The problem was he was competing against a dynasty with the Islanders. The problem was he was competing against a super competitive Philadelphia Flyers squad as well. But as far as Nashville goes, I'll think about how they essentially created a hockey market at all levels, going right down to grassroots, youth hockey, etc., from pretty much out of nothing. How do you look at the legacy of David Poile?
You're talking about that Washington team. I was talking to somebody this morning, Dave, Jeff, and they were saying to me that they remembered those Philly Washington games and how tough they were.
Oh,
And in the playoffs, what the Flyers would do is they would tell, whether it was Dave Brown or somebody like that, or Rick Tocchet, like one of their really tough players, it is your job to get Rod Langway off the ice. So, Langway, I think he won 2 Norris trophies, at least one, maybe 2, as the best defenseman in the NHL. But there was the job was that you had to make him so mad that he would fight you, and then the Capitals wouldn't have him 4 times during the games. And that was their job. That was one of the strategies to beating the Capitals. And then the Capitals went out and they got some fighters so that those guys would fight the Flyer guys and Langway wouldn't have to. Like, just think about what the game was like 4 years ago. It was hilarious and it was crazy. Anyway, the thing to me is, you take a look at those 4 teams that came in around that time. Nashville, I think people understood, Minnesota, but, I think we looked at a place like Nashville as a real curiosity. And if I remember correctly, they had to come in first because the Titans were moving from Houston, where they were the Houston Oilers, and the NHL was concerned about that. One of the things that the NHL has really hit big is Vegas. They go into Vegas first. They show what a huge success it can be. And now the Raiders are going there, and baseball and basketball are talking about it. So, looking at that, they sped up the evolution of the Predators when the Houston Oilers were moving there. And you remember, we're such snobs, Jeff. We're such snobs. What we used to think of hockey in Tennessee. What a joke this is. Yeah. Don't deserve to be in the league. And now you can't imagine the league without them. And I think that's his biggest legacy is he built something that a lot of people really made fun of and into one of the league's better franchises. I think there's something really to be said for that.
You know what? And he went through a lot of tough times, and I think of that time where Jim Balsillie was trying to buy the team and move it to Hamilton.
Yeah.
And the entire NHL was upside down, and he had to, shepherd this Nashville Predators team, try to keep it competitive, continue to grow it, while there was, the evil guy from Research in Motion trying to steal his team and stick it at Cops Coliseum. He had so many headaches all along the way. Yet through all of it, it was honestly, it was the steady hand of David Poile. There was never a time where we said, "Oh, Nashville is overreacting here," or "Nashville is desperate here." There were moments make the trade for Peter Forsberg and try to do whatever you can to get goal scoring in the lineup. But it was a really steady, even veteran hand from someone who I mentioned off the top. We think of certain names around the game going back decades. The Poile name is hockey royalty around the NHL, Elliot. And one of the things that I always think of is how he was able to shepherd the Predators through the Jim Balsillie time.